Oh, hey, meanwhile in Broomtown, let's plant some apple trees today. Well, I got my box today with my apple trees in it. I ordered these from a feller in Mississippi, and I'm worried about them. They've been held up. They've been in the mail for 9 days. So let's open them up and see what we got. They're packed really, really well. Um, I'm always apprehensive on um, bare root stuff because you just don't never know how long it's been. But these were fresh grafts, and let's open it and look. And they look really good. They're still wet. I was worried about that. Um, let's get them out of this paper and see if the roots are still good and damp. And they are. You see, that's the way it's supposed to be done. These got the crystals. I don't ever push product and tell you where to buy stuff, but these folks, I've talked to this guy several times, and Southern Cultured. He's a one man, and kind of his deal is heritage. I wanted to get some apple trees that were native to Alabama, so that you won't have some of those common pest problems that you do with some of the commercially named stuff. So I'm tickled to death. These look great. I'm gonna get them potted up, and let's go from there. We got the apple trees, and the same guy that grafted my pear trees grafted these, and this is literally what they look like. It's this much is the this is the variety that you're buying or that you want, and then this is a different root stock. So the apple you want's here. They're joined, and he's taped the joint so it won't separate, and wrapped it in the paraffin tape so it doesn't dry out, and that's it. And I just put them in these pots, kind of, um, like a nursery. If I guess you could theoretically put them in the ground, but I'm gonna baby them and keep them watered. Right now they're about as exposed or vulnerable as they'll ever be right here. So I like to I like to pot them up. We've done these. These are called whips, I guess, because it's just a little bit stick. But if you're not really careful with these, they all won't make it. And even if you are careful with them, they all won't make it. It's you can buy a full tree for $35, or you can buy the whips and get somebody to graft them for you for a whole lot less. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to put the dirt up to the roots. Um, you don't want to overfill it, but at this stage, it's more imperative to not underfill it. So it takes a lot of dirt to do this. I got 10 of them. But it's still it's not only an economics issue, it's a variety issue. You can go to the big stores, the Home Depots and Lowe's of the world, and they got apple trees, sure. And I bought those, and they're fine. But you get Red Delicious or stuff you've heard of. If you want a Carter's Blue, you got to find it, and most economical and the best way to do that is like this, with a graft, bench graft, and then you pot them up and baby them, and then I'll plant these this fall. And the biggest reason that I have some of the big box varieties, and they're fine. Most of the commercially viable apple trees are they require a lot of spraying for fungicide and for insects, and These two varieties, this Carter Blue and a Yellow Hamilton, are old. Wouldn't say indigenous because I don't think apples are indigenous to Alabama, but they've been in Alabama since probably 1835, 1840. And if you go with something that's suited to your area, they do better, first of all. And second of all, it's not nearly the chemicals. You don't have to spray these trees near as much as you do like if you wanted to plant a honey crisp. Honey crisps, from my experience, I've got several of them. They require a lot of spraying. They require a lot of insects, like I said, and fungicide to bring those to where you get fruit. So I'm trying to lower my chemical footprint, if you will, by going with old varieties that have done well for years. Another reason that these you like me, I might not have never heard of an apple called a Carter's Blue, and biggest reason is because I don't study apples, and I know what's available in the grocery store, and I never seen a Carter's Blue in the grocery store. So there's some old grape varieties that are the same way. Why I plant them in the first place, and I told you that it's because it's a lot less chemicals, a lot less spraying. But so why doesn't everybody do that? And the answer is they don't store as well. But those apples that you get in the grocery store, there's no telling how long they've been picked. They've been picked for weeks and sometimes months, and they keep them cool. They spray them with they spray the fruit with things to keep them, from getting too ripe. And most of these old varieties don't suit themselves well to that kind of treatment. They don't have as long a shelf life. Well, if you're doing it for home, who cares how long the shelf life is? You're going to eat them or put them up or make whatever you're going to make, applesauce, as you're picking them. You don't need them to store for 6 months on a shelf. They're better apples. They taste better, most of that fruit. But because it's not as commercially viable, consumer doesn't ever see it or doesn't ever know what it is. So when you're choosing stuff for yourself, it's really easy. Like I said, I've been there, to go to Lowe's and say, oh, they got apple trees on sale for $35. And it's a Red Delicious or a Gala. And you keep it 5 or 6 years and it starts making apples. And you go, why don't my apples why they all fall off? Why they do this? Why they do that? And then you learn about spraying and fungicides and insecticides. And, there's no economy to scale there. You got 2 trees, 3 trees. If you had 2,000 trees, you could spray effectively and then sell them to the grocery store. But for home use, it's better to find what works in your area where you are and plant those, and I think that you'll have a lot better outcome doing heritage type fruit. Anyway, I won't make you sit here and watch me do all these, but that's what these are: bare root, whip, new grafts, apple trees. All right, this is the last one. Aren't you glad I didn't make you watch them all? We'll get these 10, get them planted up, and water them all summer. And I'll come back periodically and catch you up and let you see how they're doing, and when they start budding, and we'll count and see how many out of the 10 make it, and we'll go from there. That's pretty much all the excitement. Now the rest is just to watch them all summer long, and then plant them about November. I think would be a good time to plant them. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Hey, I know I said it was over, but I wanted to reiterate the exact varieties that those apples are, because it is unusual and you're not going to find them just in a catalog somewhere. Yellow Hamilton is one of them, and Carter's Blue. And those are old apple varieties that were not indigenous, but whatever the word. They've been planted in the state of Alabama since the 1830s or 40s, and long before the sprays were invented. So they'll work. And the fella, I did want to shout out to the fella that I got them from, Larry Stevenson at Southern Cultured Orchards and Nurseries. He does a fantastic um, mail order business, and I think he drives most of it through Facebook. But he's super guy, super nice, and accommodates. And he's grafted some stuff that I've sent him the signwood, and he grafted it for me, some old varieties. So anyway, shout out to him, and a wonderful picture of my favorite cat that we've ever had, Zippy. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you would, take a second to hit the subscribe button for us. It helps us a lot. I appreciate it.